Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and in this video, let's talk about this oil pan and a bunch of other stuff. I want to talk about aftermarket parts. I get emails on this, and I get emails and comments. People always want to ask me about aftermarket parts. Does it void the warranty? What do engineers actually think about these aftermarket parts? I have that answer for you as well. And I just want to show you what's going on in my messy garage. I got parts everywhere. And if the weather would cooperate, I'd have all this stuff installed, but I don't. So I kind of want to show you what I have going on in the garage and talk to you about some parts coming soon. And then let's talk about aftermarket part warranties. And I'll wrap this up what the engineers think about parts like this, because we actually did talk about this. So let's first of all head back in the house. I want to talk more about aftermarket warranties, and let's discuss that in a little more detail.
All right, now let's talk about this concern about aftermarket parts and warranty. And there's going to be a lot of people in the comments already know this, but let me just go over it for everybody. We're on the same page. And so you see this all the time on Facebook and forum and stuff. People bring up the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act. I found this on automotiveaftermarket.org, a really good explanation, really solid website, by the way. I did not reach out to them. I just found it, and I've read about this act a few times. I'm like, this really summarizes what's going on. So this Magnuson-Moss Warranty Federal FTC, or Federal Trade Commission Improvement Act, is a federal law. It was passed January 4th, 1975 by Gerald Ford, not the car company, the president. And so it covers aftermarket automotive parts in these ways. Simply using aftermarket or recycled part does not void your warranty. Simply by using it doesn't void your warranty. An automotive dealer cannot refuse to honor the factory warranty that came with a new vehicle if someone else does routine maintenance or repairs. Now think about that for a minute. You know, a lot of people talk about, oh my God, I'm going to lift my truck up, I'm going to avoid my warranty. But this act actually went even further in 1975 to say, hey, if you do oil changes in your driveway, the automotive company can't void your warranty by doing your own oil changes. That's powerful stuff. I mean, these days we have a little thing going on in Massachusetts about right to work on your vehicle. We're trying to get these codes to work in your cars yourself. And this act tried to spearhead that and stop that from happening, but it's still going on a little bit. It's illegal for an automotive dealer to deny warranty coverage just because routine maintenance repairs were performed by another person or business. Routine maintenance generally includes things like oil changes, rotating tires, replacing belts, fluids, checks, and flushes, including new brake pads and inspections. So you can't deny your warranty if you do your own service in your vehicle. According to the FTC, using aftermarket or recycled manufactured parts doesn't void a vehicle warranty. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act makes it illegal for companies to void a warranty or deny coverage under the warranty because an aftermarket or recycled part was used. Now, this last part I think is really interesting. The FTC defines an aftermarket part as a part manufactured by a company other than the original vehicle manufacturer or original equipment manufacturer, an OEM. So it goes into some more details, but what you need to know about this act, and I'm going to break away from this website for just a second, is that they can't void your warranty based on parts you add to your vehicle unless, this is the big unless the dealer can prove that the part you installed caused the warranty concern. For example, aftermarket parts. And I know people are thinking, hey, I'm going to install, a lift kit, or I'm going to install a intercooler, or I'm going to install a turbo or something on this engine. Big things. I'm going to tune it, do something different. But what are also aftermarket parts? New tires, new wheels, right? So if you put bigger tires and wheels on your truck, I'm going to say bigger wheels, right? So if you go bigger wheels, and all of a sudden the truck starts riding kind of weird, and you go to the dealer and say, hey, my truck's not riding great. And the dealer goes, well, that's because you put these bigger wheels on there, and that's not covered under warranty. I'm going to charge you for the coverage to rebalance your rebalance your axle or whatever. I'm blanking on the words, but rebalance your truck out so it doesn't shimmy. That's on you, because they can say that tire and wheel combo caused the problem. So I think that's the crux of the issue that always comes up. People always say, well, doesn't adding that part void your warranty? No, it doesn't. It doesn't void your warranty unless that part that you add causes a concern with the warranty claim. And so the parts I'm talking about installing on the Silverado, which I really want to do because I've never really done this stuff too much in the past. I just enjoy doing aftermarket stuff because it opens new doors and avenues, different things. They should not void the warranty unless the automotive manufacturer can prove that part caused the problem. And I think the parts I'm installing aren't going to cause any problems. So that's where I'm at with this.
Okay, let's take a look what I got here. I got tons of stuff all around my garage. Like it's crazy how much stuff I have and just, well, what happened. So let's talk about this. This is the Banks iDash. I actually bought this. This goes on a dash. I have a little holder, like a mount inside the cabin. Plugs into OBD2, and that's, you can check your different DPF levels. You can check your regen status, that kind of stuff with this thing. This thing that says, please remove for dealer visit, which I find kind of funny, is the Banks pedal monster. Supposed to make my throttle response even better and really take away dead pedal. So it's going to trucks can drive a lot faster. So that's $295. That's $295. I have this. This is a performance transmission cooler. It's an advanced bar and plate. It's for, let me see if I can find my page. It's right here. 60% more surface area than General Motors puts up. And you're looking at $89.99. I'd be curious about that. Over here, this is a transmission fluid. Basically improves it, so it creates a bigger opening. Let me find the page for that. Talk more about that. So that one is, that's the transmission cover. Oh, I lost the page. Oh well. So that goes into transmission. Transmission lines go through it. The OEM lines, they say, are too narrow. This opens it up and keeps that fluid running that much better. We have high performance fuel efficiency or high efficiency oil filters, 41% more filter media than OEM. So that one that's $90. This is $30 a piece. This guy, which is interesting, is a rear diff cover, which I'm not sure it works. It says a 12 bolt. This is for heavy duty, but I'm going to see if it fits mine. So this one's supposed to hold a quart more fluid and have better overall performance than the stock one, which was right here. So you have heavy duty cooling. The pan holds additional fluid, offering thermal stamina for long hauls. And it includes an exclusive fill plug featuring a high power magnet that will pull metal particles right out of the oil before you have a chance to do any damage. So pretty cool. And it looks cool. I like it too. This is the oil pan we talked about, and we'll talk more about, but this is the one that somebody asked me about if that would actually, engineers would like it or hate it, and so I'll talk more about that. But this one, what's interesting is it actually is wider. So I don't think it's any deeper, it's actually wider, and that was in the page over here. Oil pan, right? So increases fluid capacity by 2 quarts, designed to achieve a complete drain. And they have a really cool picture of it. It's right here. So this is your PPE deep oil pan. You can see that color there. And this is the stock oil pan. You can see where it goes like that. So it's not very much deeper. It's about the same size. And then when you change your oil, right there, it's a valley of stock oil that remains, it's the dirtiest oil. And then they move that plug, so they get rid of all the oil so it doesn't actually sit in there anymore. So not only do you have a better oil change and more complete oil change, but you get rid of that, you add the extra quart of oil. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's what they got sent. So the oil pan's $329, premium oil air filters $29.99. The transmission, it's that, which is $90. I told you about that. Transmission fluid, I had the wrong page, darn it. Anyways, this one is $259 for these guys, and then this one was $90. And that one goes in line with transmission going down. So I got a lot of parts to install with that. Over here, I want to talk to you more about this. I have a new one coming. This is 180 degree, called 180. It's from WaySafe. All right, look, I screwed up. I really wanted the WaySafe because they have a scale built in, so you can actually know what your tongue weight is. There's a picture of it somewhere. No, not in this case. But in this case, this 180 actually can, look at that. It can flip around, and so you don't have this sticking out and taking away your shin. You can have it all the time. You can flip that around and just take that key off and put it around there. So it's got a little key holder, little key lock. I will be sending this back, but I just want to let you guys know about this because I'm excited about that, and I really want the tongue weight thing because I think that's really cool. This is $299 to $479, rather kind of expensive, but it is. And this guy, I usually say no to this stuff. So I usually get tons of emails every day from aftermarket companies who want to test stuff. I say no to a lot of stuff, but this one I was really curious about because I go camping a lot. Well, not a lot, but I go camping. And I hate everyday camping. You have to go get ice. Ice every morning. Always get ice. So this is a portable refrigerator. 30 quart, works on a 12-volt system. I have a solar panel that goes with it that will charge a solar panel. You actually have a power backup too, that I have with it that goes in here. You can do a light, you can do AC, USBs, all kind of stuff. You can charge this up, and you can run the cooler off that, or you can charge other devices. This, like I said, plugs in your vehicle, and then it's 30 quart. And look, it's already got beer in it and like a Diet Coke. It's awesome, man. And it's going to be about that time. I'll tell you that much. So yeah, and then this is the charger apparatus, the charge for your car, and then it closes, and then you have a couple cup holders thing here, and then you have the side. You can grab it here. Pretty lightweight, pretty sturdy. Yeah, so I'm a big fan. Really excited about that. Thinking about putting that on my porch actually for the summer. And then this guy over here, this is the big guy. This guy's gonna take me a while to install. So this one is a slider from Decked Company. They reached out to me to offer me this, and it goes into the bed of the truck and it slides out. And I'll show you a picture on the screen. This is $1,400. It's and you can see how big it came, how it came shipped. I mean, it's a lot of load. But my thinking here is, if I mount it inside the truck and I go camping, I can put all my stuff on the slider. I can pull the slider out and unload my stuff nice and easily. I kind of like that. So, and actually, you can stand on all sorts of stuff. It withstands quite a bit of weight inside of it, so, or on top of it. So you can hold it quite a bit of weight. Again, I'll install it, have more details to that. More details there. More details, more details, more details. I got tons of stuff coming.
Okay, hey, that was a huge collection of parts and lots of stuff going on. I actually filmed the closing of this video in the garage, and then I froze. And I then realized it was 7 minutes long. So let me kind of recap things a little bit. So I did talk to a General Motors engineer, and I'm going to leave his name out of the equation because it doesn't matter. But I did talk to him a little bit off the record, a little bit about the oil pan. I guess it wasn't off the record. We're at the bar drinking. We're sitting there talking about two guys, right? So this is what I love to do. I love going to events, which you guys have helped me do by subscribing and viewing videos on this channel. You allow me to get the enough prestige or whatever from automakers to get me these events. So definitely hit the subscribe button. But I'm there. We're talking about stuff. We're having drinks. And we start talking about oil consumption. So if you remember, I did a video on the Silverado 3-liter diesel, and we talked about normal oil consumption in that video. And I need to clarify two things in that video because it kind of always comes up post when I do videos as things happen, is that there's a technical service bulletin that General Motors put out about normal oil consumption. The bulletin, I read the front page, and apparently there's page 2. I didn't look at page 2. But there's a couple things on page 2 that kind of stand out. And a fan of the channel pointed out to me, and I told him, I said, you know what? I will do my best. Next video, I'm going to talk about it. So you shouldn't check your oil for oil consumption until you've reached 5,000 miles or more. And that's to allow a little bit more break-in for the rings and things like that in the engine. Now, it's kind of funny. A little side note is that when I did that video, people were like, Tim, you dummy. The owner's manual says,
it says to check your oil after a couple hours. So to get an accurate reading, park and level ground, check your engine off. It's been off for at least 2 hours. 2 hours. But then it says, if unable to wait 2 hours, engine must be off at least 15 minutes if the engine is warm, at least 30 minutes if the engine is not warm. And then the TSB says a little bit different. Doesn't even talk about 2 hours. It's kind of funny.
TSB actually says on the back side, it says, just park your truck for like 10, 15 minutes, check the oil. So owner's manual says one thing and the TSB says the other thing. And again, that's a situation where I think engineering is not talking to marketing or legal who's writing the owner's manual. And so, yeah, not working out. But I did want to go back to the conversation I had with the GM engineer. We're talking about normal oil consumption. One of the benefits of this channel is I get the bigger platform to talk to people about this, and I get engineers who watch my videos. So he actually saw the video before I landed, and he was ready to talk about it. He wasn't fired up about it. He just was ready to talk about it because he's like, he said to me, he says, if you think about engines, all engines will use some oil at some point. There's a PCV valve that they have to keep lubed up to make sure it operates. And he goes, you lose a little oil there. And then as the rings set in, you tend to get a little oil past the rings as engines age. And so he says, you're always going to use a little bit of oil. That's not the big of a deal. And then I said, I'm getting this oil pan from PPE, which I showed you out in the garage. And he's like, really? He's like, that's interesting. So he's like, is it wider? Is it deeper? How they design this? And so him and I got talking about the pan. I didn't know much about it because I hadn't opened the box yet. It was in my garage. But I think what that speaks to is how engineers see aftermarket companies. There's always a thought that says that, well, GM, they obviously did all this engineering, they did all this stuff, and they know every X and O details, all this kind of stuff on these different engines. And a lot of times, these aftermarket companies create ideas and create products that engineers are going, huh, that's a damn good idea. You know, that's interesting. I know so many chief engineers and so many engineers that are not chief engineers, that are just regular engineers that who modify their trucks. I know tons of them. They put lifts on them. They go to another company. They put tires on them, and they get geeked out about this. Like they love the fact they're going to go and do some stuff. Think about the collaboration with the Chevy Colorado when they did the AEV, the Bison, the American Expedition Vehicles. American Expedition Vehicles talked to Dave Harrington, who was the president over there at the time. I think he's still there. I think he founded the company. He's probably still there. Anyways, talked to Dave about it on a trail in we were in Arizona driving the Bisons, and it was interesting because so Dave's like geeked out that GM said, "Hey, let's collaborate," and GM's like, "Oh my gosh, we got AEV, right?" So I mean, GM engineers like, "This is so cool," and Dave's like, "This is really cool," and then they had a really good partnership. So you know, things are changing. You have AEV Bison, now you have Bilstein. Like the Ram TRX is a big Bilstein shock that has the logos all over it that Ram asked Bilstein to put on there. Like they want to collaborate. Like these aftermarket companies want to collaborate with General Motors. And I think what's going to happen, like with this oil pan, I'm telling you right now that John Barta, the chief engineer for the Silverado diesel, I'm sure he's watching this video. He's going to watch more videos that I'm doing on the channel because I know he pays attention to stuff. He's probably looking at this oil pan himself. Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't, as General Motors engineer, if you see an aftermarket part that may actually work better than the part you have designed, why not look at what they have and then maybe you modify it and make it your own, and then you're known as this guy who improved your product without spending thousands and thousands of dollars in R&D costs or creating a whole new product. That gets you promoted, and that makes a lot of sense to me. So yes, I think there's this thought. I had an email from a gentleman who was like, well, you know, trucks are set up this way and they're set to run this way. Why would you modify it? Your GM people freak out about this. And no, GM people are really curious. They love going to SEMA. They love seeing the big trucks. They love going to Overland Expo. They love seeing what you guys are doing with your trucks. So don't think for a minute they're not watching Instagram and YouTube and they're not watching different channels. They're big fans of yours as much as you're big fans of their product. It goes both ways. And so keep that in mind. All right, that's all I got for this video. I've already gone on way too much. Let me know what products you really wanted to see. Like, what are you really curious about? I have a kind of ton of cool stuff in the garage. I just have really not cool weather at the moment, really crappy weather. And so it's really irritating me. So I want to show this stuff off for you guys. And I am going to show it off in a couple weeks. I do have a little teaser. I have a Ford, I have a Ram, I have a Tundra, and I have a Silverado video coming up in a couple weeks. I'm getting all 4 trucks together. I can't wait for that. When that video is done, then I'll start modifying the truck because I do like to show things stock to stock. That's what I like to show for you guys in the channel. So again, put your comments down below. What do you guys think? What are you guys looking for? What's stood out to you? I mean, I'm kind of debating how many beers I can fit in the cooler. That might be cool. That's a good summertime. I don't think it ice anymore. No ice anymore camping. And also check out the website, pickuptrucktalk.com. I got to quit talking. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.